Hola y bienvenidos a la Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente de esa mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito San Dieguito not with us today. Will the Thrill not with us this morning, but he will be with us tonight for a special Deuces Wild San Francisco Giants, Los Angeles Dodgers watch party beginning, early at about 6 p.m. And we're going to take it through at least the first inning or two of the game, get Thrill's unfiltered thoughts as the San Francisco Giants take on the Dodgers live from Chavez Ravine in downtown Los Angeles. On that note, let's make sure we properly salute Thrill, Hunter Pants, and Miguelito San Dieguito, as well as each and every one of you on this lovely Tuesday morning. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning to you on the second day of April 2024. And guess what? The tournament Final Four is here. And Bet Online is your bracket headquarters for this season with the best bracket contest out there and odds, lines, and info on every game and every round. Dude, we're already in the Final Four. We know this. But do you know you can access the most up-to-the-minute wagering information anytime from your desktop or mobile device and even track your bracket in real time all the way to the tournament? Head to Bet Online today and get in on the action. Remember to use the promo code BLEAV, capital B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online. The game starts here. And let's not forget about our guy Jory over at Verge. That's right. This is a mix of cannabis, lemon, honey, a little bit of everything. And guess what? I'm having trouble opening everything this morning. Why? I put Aquaphor on my hands, loaded it up. Got it. I cannot be denied. So here it is. I always like taking a shot with you guys. It is incredibly soothing on the throat. Go to tryverge.com. Use the promo code, I think it's LTP10, which will get you 10% off your order. All right. Our daily hustle for today. Sent this out just a little bit earlier. And let me see here. Let me grab it in the actual email form in which it was sent. It's always the final edition. And here we go. Buenos dias. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Random historical fact. On this day in 1982, to protest National League Parks disallowing the designated hitter, manager Billy Martin sent pitcher Steve McCaddy up to home plate with a 15-inch toy bat. Unfortunately, for entertainment purposes, umpires refused to let McCaddy use the bat. Need to know, last night, 30-year-old Dominican right-hander Ronel Blanco of the Houston Astros threw the first no-hitter of 2024 and arguably one of the most improbable no-hitters of all time. Blanco is a career minor league journeyman who was making his eighth start of his big league career. He had never thrown more than 6 innings or 90 pitches and would have never made the Astros opening day roster if it hadn't been for multiple injuries to other Houston starters. April 1st was also the earliest no-hitter in MLB history. Blanco dedicated the no-no to who else than his newborn daughter, who also arrived last week. Daily Hustle quote of the day: I succeeded because you believed in me. Daily Hustle translation: it's imperative that we believe in ourselves and our own abilities, but oftentimes it's the backing of others that confirms our beliefs and allows us to succeed. Knowing this, we must earn this belief through our work and surround ourselves with people that believe in us as well as people we believe in. New Astros manager and former teammate of mine in Midland, Joey Espada, had the belief in Ronel Blanco last night and just so happened to earn Espada his first big league managerial win. That'll baby Joey! EB. Okay. All right. So Ronel Blanco was the big story last night. Actually went live here on No Filter for the last inning. Going to do more of that through the course of the season as we get into big moments. It could be the last inning of a tight game. It could be extra innings, whatever. But I made it a private event and basically just wanted to come on, record, and chopped it up, sent out the social clip with it. I think the biggest thing about that is trying to capture these real-time moments. So special. And Ronel Blanco last night, I do truly believe it was one of the most improbable no-hitters of all time, just for the fact that it was April 1st, and that should say enough because that's the earliest in the history of baseball. We also, let's understand this, we just starting seasons a little bit earlier. I'm looking at some of these past opening dates. Even when I played, it was April 8th and April 9th and whatever. So there is a reason for that. But remember this, managers and pitching coaches, they don't want to stretch guys out this early in the season. And that makes sense, even for somebody who I think we're way too stringent with pitchers' pitch counts. But early in the year, you want to build up to the 100 to 115 pitches that I think these guys are capable of throwing. So, fun little article in MLB. It says, who is Ronel Blanco, the newest member of the no-hit club? If you've never heard the name Ronel Blanco before Monday night, you likely have now. The Astros right-hander became the latest pitcher to throw a no-hitter, tossing the 17th no-hitter in the Houston Astros' rich pitching history against the Blue Jays at Minute Maid Park. Just who is Blanco, who managed one of baseball's most memorable feats in just his 8th career start. Here's more on the newest member of the no-hit club. Some fun facts here. Blanco is a 30-year-old right-hander from Santiago in La Dominicana. He's 6 feet, $180, and made his major league debut for the Astros in 2022. So Blanco is from Santiago. That is where Águilas plays, which is the arch rival of Licey. Blanco wouldn't have been in the Astros rotation to begin the year had it not been for injuries to Justin Verlander and Jose Urquidy. He was told last week by manager Joey Espada that he had won the final spot in the rotation. On the same day, he and his wife welcomed their second child. Until recently, Blanco had never served as a full-time starter. Across his minor league career, he started just 34 of 202 games in which he appeared. Blanco made 7 relief appearances in 2022 with the Astros, but he didn't make his first big league start until June 1st of 2023. Credit the Astros general manager Dana Brown. He was hired in January 2023 for turning Blanco into a starter. Brown tabbed Blanco as a potential starter after watching the right-hander pitch in spring training in 2023. And after being optioned to the minors in May of 2023, Blanco stretched it out to become a starter. He pitched 5 1/3 innings and earned the win over the Angels in his first outing. In his second, he limited the Blue Jays, yes, the same team he later no-hit, to just 3 hits and 2 runs over 6 innings. Blanco wasn't always a pitcher. During his amateur baseball days, he was a corner infielder and an outfielder with a rocket arm. But Blanco's light bat wasn't good enough to earn him consideration from scouts. So at age 18, he switched to pitching. Apparently, it was the right path. Now, after transitioning to pitching, Blanco kept an unusual schedule as he worked to gain recognition. He practiced on the mound in the morning, but in the afternoons, he worked at a car wash in order to support himself and his mother, Maria. Oh, I love this. Absolutely fucking love it. Blanco kept at his craft, pitching in showcases and in tryouts across the Dominican Republic. Astros scout Francis Mejia eventually noticed Blanco, but he wasn't looking for him. Mejia was there to scout a highly touted outfielder named Julio Rodriguez. This is great. Who had the same trainer as Blanco. Rodriguez eventually signed with the Mariners and won the 2022 AL Rookie of the Year award. Impressed by Blanco, Mejia extended an invitation to the Astros Academy and eventually signed him on April 27, 2016. International prospects can sign with MLB clubs when they turn 16, but Blanco was 22 when he inked his first big league contract. The Astros signed him for $5,000. Blanco is not the first pitcher signed by the Astros at a relatively older age. Dominican pitchers Framber Valdez was 21, Christian Javier 18, were well past their 16th birthdays when they signed with Houston, as was Luis Garcia, who was signed at 20. Blanco has been flat out dominant in the Dominican Winter League. In his career with the Estrellas Orientales, he owns a .98 ERA with 66 strikeouts in 55 innings. Other natives of Santiago in the Dominican Republic include Johnny Peralta, Carlos Gomez, Joaquin Benoit, Willie Adames, and Christopher Morel. Look, I don't know who's from Santiago, but they've left out some of those prominent names to ever play for Águilas, including the great Luis Polonia. Stan Javier, he's actually from San Francisco de Macorís. Because you got Blanco, who happens to be from Santiago, but he plays for Estrellas. Estrellas, for a long time, is at the doormat of the Dominican League. I mean, just not a good team at all. There was a couple, Estrellas and La Romana, and San Francisco. So it was Escogido and Licey, which share a stadium in the capital in Santo Domingo. And then there is Águilas, the Aguiluchos, who play in Santiago. Those are the three dominant teams. So anyhow, onward and upward. What an exciting moment. I love the fact that he was working in a fucking car wash. Think about that. I mean, here's a guy that's doing everything he can to pursue a major league career. And the afternoons, he's like, yeah, I mean, here we go. It's off to the car wash now. Reminds me of my days at Chevron. Hey, stay humble or be humbled. I think that's huge. Whenever you come from roots like that, he's working to support his mother. And now here he is on the mound after having his second child, pitching in a game that he probably didn't even think he'd be pitching, and it wouldn't happen without these injuries. And if you looked at the no-hitter, by the way, it was made possible by a couple of nice defensive plays. One of them, Blanco, ricocheted the ball off his glove to Dubon at second base. They had plenty of time to throw over to first. And then the other one was a sick play at first base that they were able to make in the later innings. I love the debate from Greg Amsinger and the boys on MLB Tonight as to whether or not Blanco was going to be able to achieve the no-hitter, and they were talking about this in the sixth. And Harold Reynolds and Dan Plesac are both like, no chance, especially Harold. Like, this isn't happening. There's no way that he's going to go out there and get this done. Number one, because the Blue Jays are all over him. And number two, because it's just way too early in the year for a manager, especially a rookie manager like Joey Espada, to let his guy go over 100 pitches. Now, he was slated for 90. So knowing that, he only had to go like 14 pitches over that. So anyhow, All right. Onward and upward. Let's get rolling through the league. I don't have a lot of time left. On Monday, the final scores, it was Atlanta 9-0 over the White Sox. The White Sox are now 0-4. Look, huge Andrew Vaughn fan. I'll tell you that. But the White Sox don't have much. Luis Robert Jr., yeah, good, legit. Now, they've lost some close games, and I was a little hard on them before the season started. I think I called them dog shit. But then I went into the fans and caused all sorts of havoc. Regardless, they're 0-4. On the other side, the north side of Chicago, it was the Cubs 5-0 over the Rockies. The Rockies off to a 1-4 start. The Cubs now back to 2-2. The Rockies had a defensive miscue in which the left fielder let the ball go under his glove. Didn't let, misplayed it, hustled back to try to make the play. It was Nolan Jones, and it ended up being a inside the park Little League home run for the Cubs. And that was, I think like 3 of the 5 runs that scored. The Pittsburgh Pirates, the Buccos, are now 5-0. Holy shit, man. What a start for Pittsburgh. I had mentioned them as a sneaky playoff team before the season started, and they are making me look good as everybody else who was on the Pittsburgh bandwagon. Now, is this sustainable? I got to be honest, I think it is. It's just because of their pitching. It's one thing if you have an offense that gets hot, but it's another when you have a pitching staff that gets hot. When that happens, it is lookout time, and that's where we are with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Connor Joe, a go-ahead double. Riley Adams had a game-tying 2-run homer for the Nationals, but it was not enough as Pittsburgh prevails. Okay, it was the Orioles, 6-4 winners over the Kansas City Royals, and Jordan Westburg, a walk-off ding-dong Donkey Kong, his 4th of his career and his first walk-off homer, the kid from Mississippi State. Absolutely tattooed a ball to right center field going Oppo Taco. And the O's have something very magical happening in Baltimore. This is a team that I would not be shocked to see win the World Series this year. That's how bullish I am on them. Now, sure, it's going to take eventually getting past the Dodgers or Braves in the World Series, assuming that is the National League team that comes out, which more likely than not will be. But my goodness, the O's are that good. They're going to have a battle with the Yankees all year, who are off to a great start as well. Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals hit a solo home run to center field. That's his second. He's such a fun player to watch. Reds 6-3 over Philly. Philly's off to a terrible start. They're 1-3. The Reds, on the other hand, are 3-1. Spencer Steer, go-ahead grand slam in the 10th inning. Good for Spencer Steer. Just great young stud players out there in Cincinnati. The Angels, 7-4 over the Marlins. The Marlins are fucking terrible. They're 0-5. This is a playoff team last year. Angels, look, everyone was worried about the Angels after they got donkey stomped by Baltimore in the first 2 games. I'm like, chill. Again, don't get me wrong. I don't think the Angels are a playoff team. But this is a team that could end up around 500. Why? Ron fucking Washington is reason number 1. And Mike fucking Trout is reason number 2. Wash is that great of a human, that great of a manager, and Trout is that great of a player. Simple as that. So big win for the Angels and big comeback after they called that meeting after their second loss. Like, Wash ain't going to have it. He's not. They ain't laying down for nobody. It's just not going to happen. And Mike Trout, by the way, 473 feet. An absolute fucking bomb yesterday. And I bring this up because it's newsworthy because the ball went 473 feet. But I do get asked all the time, what's the furthest ball you ever hit? I actually don't think it was this ball, but on record, if you go back and look at it, it was 473 feet into some dude's French fries in TGI Fridays at the Arizona Bank One Ballpark. Chase Field actually is what it was when I played there. So the exact same distance that Trout hit one yesterday. Texas Rangers 9-3 winners in Tampa. Josh Jung, 3-hit, 4 RBI outing versus the Rays. But if I'm not mistaken, I was looking at this earlier. Was it Jung who got hit and broke his wrist? That was a bit disconcerting. I'm checking the highlights right now. Yep, hit by pitch. Yeah, he's going to be out. I mean, that's a tough one. This guy is a fucking stud. I mean, such a vital part of everything the Rangers were doing offensively. The good thing is that they have depth and they should be able to survive this, but a big blow for the Texas Rangers. All right, you had the Tigers go to New York after a sweep to start the year. Now, the Mets got swept and the Tigers swept. And then the Tigers rolled into New York and punched the Mets in the fucking face and said, oh, yeah, by the way, we're for real. Good on them. Carson Kelly, the former Diamondbacks catcher, a 3-run home run. Colt Keith drives in the go-ahead run for Detroit, and they're looking like the real deal. Astros 10-0 over the Blue Jays. We talked about that game extensively. The Red Sox 9-0 over the A's. Tanner Houck struck out 10. He's filthy. Ever since I saw him come out of the bullpen way back when for the Red Sox when he was a rookie. This dude's just straight filth. So to see him out there starting and punching 10 tickets is not surprising whatsoever. Trevor Story, a 2-run double for the Red Sox. They're going to need production out of him. The Red Sox now 3-2. The A's 1-4, and they do not look good. It is rough times in Oakland currently, but let's hope Mark Kotze and the boys will be able to right the ship. Mariners 5-4 over the Cleveland Guardians. The Mariners now 3-2. The Guardians 3-2 as well. Let's see here. Dominic Canzoni, a 3-run homer for the M's, and Josh Naylor, his first home run of the 2024 season for Cleveland. Cardinals 6-2 over the Padres. It was Fernando Tatis Jr. with a solo home run, his third of the year. And then, let's see here. In St. Louis, I know they hit a couple jacks, and let's just head to this box score. And here it was. It was, geez. Let's see here. Contreras, that's right. Wilson Contreras, a home run. And I guess that was it. Donovan hit a home run as well. Shit, Donovan, 3 for 4. 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, 1 walk. What a big day for Brendan Donovan. Wow. Huh. All right, finishing up the scoreboard, and we're moving onward, upward, and out. You had the Yankees go to Arizona. They were 5-2 winners. They're now 5-0. And then San Francisco last night lost to the Dodgers 8-3. Look, it could have been a completely different ball game with the Dodgers and the Giants had the Giants taking advantage of opportunities. Wilmer Flores came up with the bases loaded when the Giants were down 3-0. And he ended up hitting a ground ball to second base. So James Paxton got out of it. But Flores has great numbers against Paxton. And in that situation, it was Matt Chapman who drew the walk. Before that, the Giants are doing everything they need to do to put themselves in position to win baseball games. That's it. I know 8-3 doesn't necessarily look like they were super in it. They were. The problem is the Dodgers offense is just electric. Keaton Winn was really good for San Francisco last night, but this offense with those three guys at the top, they're fucking unstoppable. They really are. And the great thing about it, if you're a Dodger fan, is that they don't have to try to do too much. They just don't. It's not like you have this one superstar slugger like a Barry Bonds in the middle of the lineup. It is a deep lineup that just keeps coming at you. It's Betts, Ohtani, Freeman. Then you get to Will Smith. Will Smith is hitting 500 with a 1,200 OPS. Then it's Max Muncy. Teoscar Hernandez, by the way, has been absolutely en fuego at 3-run homer last night. James Outman off to a slow start. But the good thing is that you could have some patience with a second-year player out of Sarah High School. Go ahead and let him go through his struggles, and it's not that big of a deal. Chris Taylor struggling at the bottom of the lineup too. Once again, not that big of a deal, and the same thing with Gavin Lux. So if you could get those guys before Betts, Ohtani, and Freeman to get hot, that's when this Dodgers team is going to be unstoppable. But so far, they've scored at least 5 runs in every single game. Okay, as far as tonight is concerned, I'm back on with Will the Thrill, 6 p.m. We'll be leading you into that Dodgers-Giants matchup at 7:10. It will be Kyle Harrison against Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow is one of the filthiest starting pitchers in all of baseball. He came over from the Tampa Bay Rays and has assumed the ace position thus far for the Dodgers. So should be a fantastic matchup tonight. Other games around the league, it will be Kansas City at Baltimore. It's a 10:05 a.m. start, so they're about to get going. Cincinnati at Philly, 10:05 a.m. You got Texas at Tampa at 10 o'clock. Angels at Miami, 10 o'clock. Minnesota at Milwaukee, 10 o'clock. A lot of early games. Atlanta at the White Sox at 11. Boston at Oakland at 12:37 p.m. Pacific time. Ton of day games. New York Yankees at Arizona at 12:40. It is Cleveland at Seattle at 1. St. Louis at San Diego at 1. Pittsburgh at Washington at 3:45 p.m. So it'll be a night game on the East Coast. And then you have the Detroit Tigers at the Mets, Colorado at Chicago Cubs, Toronto at Houston, and then the final nightcap will be San Francisco in Los Angeles tonight. Everyone have a fantastic day. Back at you with Deuces Wild, 6 p.m. Will the Thrill Clark. Appreciate everybody joining. And John Davis, hola. John Emmanuel Ramos, Henderson in Makati City International. Once again, motherfuckers. Michelle Drew in Phoenix, Arizona. Michelle, buenos dias to you. Gene in Minnesota. We got Barry in Buffalo. What's up, dude? You guys want to leave a review if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. Leave it 5 stars. Greatly appreciate it. All right. Everyone have a great day. See you tonight. See ya!